How's it going, Shuffle Squad YouTube channel? My name is PrimeTimeWizardTV, and today, well, I know Lost Origins is literally right around the corner, but I'm still having a lot of fun in the Astral Radiance format. And, just to give it its last hurrah, I want to share everyone here today what is essentially my pet deck for the entire format. This is the deck I love playing whenever I join like some random tournament. This is like it's always in the consideration. I brought it to a couple, made it kind of high in a couple as well, and it's going to have to be Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX and friends. Yes, we're playing it with Mewtwo VSTAR and Dragapult VMAX for certain matchups. Again, it's a very, very fun deck. Probably not gonna lie, maybe not the best deck in format, but maybe the most fun deck in format. No, Shadow Rider Calyrex has been one of my favorite cards since release. I just think it's absolutely powerful. Not only is it energy acceleration, it's also your draw support. And hopefully we get to showcase the deck here today. And a quick shout out too, I know there's a couple of Shadow Rider Calyrex fans out there. And shout out to Hazy Cat and Hand from Above. They definitely played a hand in making this deck, definitely helping me improve it. And with that, let's just go ahead and get to the deck list. But before anything, again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified when new videos do come out. All right, let's get to it. And all right, this is a deck list that we're going to be bringing here today. Again, it's going to be Shadow Rider Calyrex with friends. Let's, of course, start with the titular card, Shadow Rider Calyrex. I really like this card. Again, I think this just goes to show the power creep in Pokemon, right? Back in the day, it's discard 1 card, draw 2 seems good enough. But what if I told you can accelerate energy as well and have a good attack? And that's Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX in a nutshell. It's 320 HP. It is a VMAX Pokemon, so we are giving away 3 prize cards, but we can play around that for sure. Again, Underworld Door, attach a psychic energy card from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon. If you do attach an energy this way, draw 2 cards. Pretty good way to accelerate. Again, when you have multiple of this in play, you can pretty much draw up to 8 cards a turn, accelerate up to 4 energy, not too bad. And it also, again, late in the game, this is going to be your main attacker. With Max Geist, does 30 damage for each psychic energy attached to all of your Pokemon. So again, just overall great card in the VMAX, but let's not ignore the Pokemon V here. It does have a meaningful attack in Shadow Mist. Okay, this is why I really like playing this right now. Arceus is all the rage, right? Shadow Rider Calyrex V, if you go second and you attack with Shadow Mist and they haven't attached a double turbo energy just yet, you essentially buy a turn, because this stops them from playing their special energies or stadium cards. You stop them from playing their path. You stop them from getting a Trinity Nova attack very early. And sometimes buying that 1 turn is enough for you to really just essentially set up, get unlimited energy on the board, have no damage cap, and take 1-hit knockouts left and right. So that's why I really like this. The V, it's very meaningful. Astral Barrage could come into play definitely in a pinch, because it does put 5 damage counters on 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. Again, it's damage counters, so this does go through stuff like Milk Tank, just because we don't have a direct Milk Tank counter just yet. So that is a pretty good attack for sure. Our secondary attacker, or sometimes an early game attacker, is going to be Mewtwo VSTAR. And since this is a VSTAR, we're only giving away 2 prizes. So the goal here is to go Mewtwo VSTAR and then double VMAX. So force them to take 7 prizes for sure. With Psysurge, this is in case, you have to go aggressive. We can go this route instead. Again, we have 2 modes. We can either go big Shadow Rider or just aggressive Mewtwo, take knockouts left and right. With Psysurge, you discard up to 3 of your psychic energy and it does 90 damage for each energy discarded. So you're doing around 270 for 3 energy, 300 with the Choice Belt. And we can set this is actually the perfect turn 1 attack with Star Raid, just doing 120 to each of your opponent's Pokemon V. Just essentially weaken everything, set it up so that maybe Mewtwo VSTAR has an easier time taking a knockout, or your Shadow Riders, or even your Dragapult. So this is very, very good indeed. The V is all right. Transfer rate could come into play in a pinch, but nothing we necessarily use. Something I love about this deck is we're also playing Dragapult VMAX. It does have Shred, so again, this is one way to go through stuff like Miltank again. but also the Max Phantom attack. I specifically like this attack just because a lot of the times we don't have that early pressure. If we're playing Shadow Rider, early pressure, it's pretty tough. Yes, we can go Mewtwo, but what if what if we want to really build energy in play? I think Dragapult VMAX definitely fills that answer, fills that void where we're just putting pressure. We're doing 130, 160 with a Choice Belt. We're essentially two-shotting anything in the format, and putting 5 damage counters in play is very, very big. There has been times where I've taken multiple prizes going with Star Raid first with the Mewtwo, then getting Max Phantom to take essentially a 4-prize turn and just having either Mewtwo or Shadow Rider Calyrex really end the game. So definitely love this card, especially if you're playing against single prize decks as well. This could come in handy. We're playing 1 Crobat V just for the early draw support. Again, we have a late game draw support for sure. Playing 1 Pumpkaboo to just get rid of any Path of the Peak because that does shut down Underworld Door. And something I do want to sneak into this is maybe a second Crobat, but we'll have, again, space is a little tight. For our item lineup, we're playing 3 Evolution Incense because we do want to evolve 3 Fog Crystal just because this is great. Just great way to set up our basic Psychic or get energy. We're playing 1 Hisuian Heavy Ball just because we do have like a couple of one-ofs that we might want to get off the prizes. Playing 1 Ordinary Rod to, reshuffle our Pokemon or energy. That is always good. Our Ball Search, we're playing 4 Quick Ball and 3 Ultra Ball. Playing 1 Switch and 2 Air Balloon as our switching options. Again, Air Balloon, switching options are very, very important here because you can only attach to the bench. Playing 3 Training Court, again, just a great way to counter path, as well as very useful stadium in this deck for sure because we want to have as many energy as possible. For our supporter lineup, it's pretty simple. It's 2 Boss's Orders, 3 Marnie, 4 Professor's Research. Very, 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 very standard supporter lineup there. And 2 Choice Belt to round things out, just in case we need more damage, especially with Mewtwo. And we're playing 12 basic Psychic Energies. So we cap out at around 360 damage, 390 damage with max guys potentially. So definitely no shortage of energy there. And with that is the deck. Hopefully we get some wins. I really do want to showcase this deck. This is one of my best, my favorite decks to play. So let's get to it. Ooh, all right. So we do have a game in our hands. Again, ideally we like to go first here. Hopefully we do, because we do have to evolve a lot of Pokemon. And it looks like we do there. Again, going second's not too bad, especially since we do have Shadow Mist, depending on the matchup. Let's see what our opponent is playing here. Again, unfortunately, we do mulligan, give him an extra card. Something I'd like to see is just, honestly, almost any basic works here, except something like Crobat. We do have a couple of cards. I can Crobat here, because it looks like we don't have a draw support for the next turn. We'll have to see what we top deck. We're up against Gengar. This is really bad for us, because we are weak to Dark here. Let's see what's in the prizes. We do have a Crobat in the prizes. Pretty good there. That means I can spend the rest of the hand here to really just try and set up. So I think I will grab Mewtwo here. Something I could do against this matchup is I could just rush him with the Mewtwo. Mewtwo is able to take a one-shot on the Pokemon Vs very, very early. So we might just do that, as well as just maybe we could even just use the V-Star in case we have to. Let's see what we draw into, though. Let's draw 5 cards with the Crobat. We do get energy. We have the Ultra Ball. We have a lot of cards for next turn. We'll just attach here to the Mewtwo. And past the turn here, all we're looking for next turn is potentially a switching option. And we do have a knockout on the Gengar, which is nice. The scary thing is, after which, we'll have to see what we can do. All right. Yeah, we'll have to see what else they play with this Gengar. Something I haven't seen in the format lately. Again, they could play this with something like Houndoom for energy acceleration, but we also have access to Dark Patch now as well. So we'll have to see how they decide to power this up. The very troublesome part as well is that Gengar VMAX's first attack, which does 60 damage for each of my Pokemon Vs in play, and I pretty much only play Pokemon Vs besides the Pumpkaboo. They do get Cram-O-Matic as well, so they can probably grab something like a Battle VIP Pass here this turn. Just really get set up, get a couple of Houndours in play, essentially just secure the game here. But we'll have to see. Something I could do if they bench 2 Gengars. I could just Star Raid this turn and try and take 2 VMAX knockouts, essentially. Because after I take the first knockout, I'm not quite sure what I can do after that. So I have to race them a little bit here. So I will just go ahead and go into Shadow Rider. We will Evolution Incense here. Grab the other Shadow Rider. And this is essentially where we can get the train going, right? We have 3 Stage 1 Pokemon in play. We have access to draw with the Underworld Door. And don't you just love seeing it? Professor's Research, full 7 cards off 1 card. Not too bad. Getting a lot of energies is very good for sure. Go ahead and attach to the Mewtwo. Ultra Ball is also great to see, but I'd like to see something like a Quick Ball instead, so I don't have to spend too many resources, but we'll have to see what we get. All right, we definitely have no shortage of energy there. We'll just go ahead and Ultra Ball here. We'll grab another Shadow Rider, just because I feel like that's exactly what we need in play. We'll retreat, and the question is, do we take a knockout? I feel like I like doing the Star Raid here, where even if they take a knockout on the Mewtwo, they have to take a knockout with the VMAX, right? And that means they're going to be using Houndour. And that the fact that we have 2 softened up, if they decide to VMAX both these guys, we still essentially win the prize race, because I'm taking a knockout on 3 Pokemon VMAX, while they have to take a knockout on a VSTAR first, essentially forcing them to the odd prize race. There is the Gengar VMAX. Just a matter of, can we get enough energy into play? They play the Tool Jammer, very annoying card for sure. They have around 170 HP. Let's see how much damage we need. Yeah, again, all they need is 1 single attachment there, and they will be able to take a knockout on the Mewtwo here. And there it is. They can go ahead and Fear and Panic for 670 damage, 640 damage. That is a lot of damage. All right, we'll go ahead and go into Shadow Rider. We need a lot of energies in play. I'm going to go ahead and attach here. I'll go ahead and Underworld Door. Okay, not too bad. I'm going to go ahead and Ordinary Rod here. Just shuffle back some energies for sure. Put back the Mewtwo VSTAR. I know we have a Mewtwo V in the deck, so I can put back the Dragapult just so we have that option. And I'm going to put back 2 energies because again, we're going to need a lot of energies. I'm going to use the Fog Crystal here just to grab the Mewtwo. And we're going to go for a big research. I think if we get 2 energies, we should be okay. And there it is. Go ahead and Underworld Door here. We'll attach 1 to the Mewtwo. And we can use Training Court as well. Just grab ourselves an energy from the discard pile because we do have a lot in there. I will Ultra Ball here. Let's discard a Marnie and 1 energy, just because we can continuously use the Train Court anyway. I'll grab Dragapult. I think just in case, this has a lot of HP. I think Dragapult makes sense because we can potentially stall. All right, we'll go ahead and grab that, and we'll go ahead and just we'll Underworld Door 1 more time. Perfect. And this should be enough. If I'm not wrong, this should be enough. There it is. We take 3 prizes, 190 damage. And now they have to attack with another VMAX to take a knockout on the Mewtwo. Oh, sorry, on the Shadow Rider. And if they use the Gengar, they have to use this Houndoom, bring it down to 300. And if I could find the last Choice Belt, we do take a knockout on pretty much anything in play. Something concerning is they can attack with Plain Explosion as well. We're using Gengar, which is 190 damage, enough to take a knockout on the Shadow Rider. Ideally, again, this is our only path to victory, right? They have to go into VMAX. We have to get that 1 shot this turn. And with the amount of Shadow Riders we have in play, plus the research, we can pretty much see the entire deck here. And our opponent is just taking his time to think here. Makes me think he doesn't quite have it. Decides to go into the Gengar. And yeah, something like the Dragapult unfortunately only does 5 damage counter, so we can't take a knockout on something like the Houndour. They're going to go ahead and use the Ultra Ball here. Maybe find the second Houndoom. Yeah, that makes sense. The second Houndoom. Okay. And they do get the... I forget what you call it, but the Cram-O-Matic, so they can search for anything in the deck. So they're going to go ahead and single strike Roar here. They're going to have to do it twice. And if they decide to only attack with the Gengar, then I'm very, very glad that we set up the Dragapult. So now our path to victory here is we need the boss's orders. They hit us with a Marnie. Unfortunately, luckily, the boss's orders was not yet in this hand, so it's potentially still in the deck. We could still draw into it. Let's see if we get it. We got to... Oh my gosh. Oh, they bump our stadium, though. Now we have to top deck into an energy. This is getting really, really close. A little bit too close for comfort here. Because we do have the boss. We do have the boss. We can boss up the Houndoom, do 130 damage, do 5 damage counters on the Gengar to take the game. It even only has 2 HP left. Let's see if we can get it. Again, 1 energy helps. Air Balloon. That is heartbreaking here, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very tough. I can still try and stall out the game. Yeah, that is tough. You're so close. Looks like they don't have the switch just yet. I don't think... Yeah, we don't have the Pumpkaboo. I wanted to bump the stadium just to possibly get rid of options. I can attack. So I can knock this out, right? I can knock this out. But then all they have to do is accelerate a couple of times with the Gengar. But if I boss's orders here, boss up the Houndoom, they're going to need to find a way to retreat. Which, again, as Gengar, I'm not too surprised if they don't find a way to retreat. Again, if I had the second Crobat, this might have been game. We'll go ahead and... I guess we'll just hit pass here. Nothing much else we can do. I could have possibly used the Quick Ball, but I think I'm okay. They have the Bird Keeper, and that's going to be game. Oh, we were so close. We were so close. Absolutely heartbreaking. The Marnie sometimes just gets us, and we do play a lot of energy. If he kept the Training Court in play, I feel like we would have gotten game there. But either way, good game to my opponent. Again, we got to see, we almost showcased, I really wanted to showcase the Dragapult too. But yeah, we got to see the power of the deck. We got to see Mewtwo do his things. We got to see Shadow Rider and almost Dragapult. Here, let's see what we're up against. Just say, give a quick hello to our opponent. His username is pretty familiar. They opted for us to go first. This is making me feel this is Lunarock based on the Psychic and the Fighting. So Dragapult could definitely come into play here. A couple of mulligans. And the nice thing here is that we are VMAXs. If I played something like a Cheryl, that would be the most ideal thing. Again, there's still a lot of ways to build this deck. Yeah, there's a lot of ways we can build this deck. Starting out with the Dragapult might not be too bad. I don't want it to get hit right off the bat, though, so I will just go into the Mewtwo. Mewtwo, I feel like, is probably the least useful in this matchup. Dragapult's going to be pretty big, especially if they don't get those scoop up nets early. And it's just a good way to put in pressure early in the game for sure. Here, I think I want to quick ball away the research. And we'll grab ourselves another Shadow Rider. Something I want to do against my opponent is try and limit their hand for sure. Let's see what they do here. Again, Lunatone is a very straightforward deck, right? We pretty much just expect them to load up damage on the Lunatone, gets And interesting, they only opted to grab one Pokemon off the Battle VIP though. But yeah, they pretty much load up energy on the Lunatone and try in either one hit or two hit knockout Pokemon. They do use Pokestop there, something we could potentially use, but not too comfortable using for sure. They grabbed the Escape Rope and a Palpad. I believe they do have a Quick Ball here. They could find themselves a Solrock. They have 2 energy in the discard pile, so if they find a second Solrock, they are going to be able to, well, they are going to be able to essentially hit with the Mewtwo. Oh, hit into our Mewtwo. And I have to assume they have it just because they didn't grab anything off the Battle VIP. Makes me think that maybe in their hand is a lot of basic Pokemon. But no, it's just going to be the Cycle Draw. Very interesting. All right. They had the Research as well. All right, we're going to go into the Shadow Rider here. And since Dragapult only needs 1 energy, or 2 energy, I can safely switch here. We'll go ahead and Marnie, limit the hand. Get a couple of Shadow Riders. I really want to find the Dragapult. Really just take a knockout on this Lunatone. Put in the early pressure. I'll Fog Crystal, grab another energy. So we have 2 outs. The Dragapult is in the deck. We have Ultra Balls, Evolution Incense, a lot of things that could help us out. Worst case scenario, I'm going to use this Pokestop to get the Dragapult. And we do get it, though. I do get the Evolution Incense into the Dragapults. We'll evolve here. We'll attach to the active. Might as well evolve into the Mewtwo VSTAR as well. I'm kind of tempted. I do want to draw a couple more. Fog Crystal does help here. Why not? Okay, that makes sense. We'll go ahead and Max Phantom here. Take the knockout on the Lunatone. And I'll put 5 damage counters on the Solrock. But I think here what they're going to do is they're going to give us the Solrock, right? They're going to give us the Solrock for sure. That means I either knock it out or they're going to scoop up net it to reset the damage. I'm still going to put it there. I think I'm still going to put it there. Greninja takes a little bit too long to knock out. This way, if they don't have the scoop up net and they're forced to like attach and retreat, then we can take multiple prizes this turn. They do have a Quick Ball. Deciding to Quick Ball a Quick Ball. Interesting choices. Makes me think, what's in their hand? Ideally, you want to Quick Ball at least twice here. There's this another Solrock. And there's the Research. Last card in hand was a Marnie. Let's see if they have it. If they don't have it, would love to just take another free knockout here. Just try and get ahead of the prize race, especially against this deck. They do have Radiant Greninja. That means they have 3 energies in play. 3 energies in the discard pile. They can go ahead and Lunatone 3 times. There is the scoop up net. And that Lunatone is... that Solrock is now all healed up. So right now they're doing 120. Would love to see them try and 3-shot the Dragapult. That might be the case here. There's no more energy in the discard pile. They haven't attached yet. That's something of note as well. So 150 might be the damage cap. Choice Belt. With the Choice Belt, that is 150. They use the Pokestop. Unfortunately, did not get energy. They're just going to go ahead and Moon Kinesis here. And now it's on to our turn. Didn't quite get anything. Would love a Fog Crystal here. No, we're going to get a Quick Ball. We can use this Quick Ball. This does help out. I will discard this. This should be fine. Grab ourselves the Crobat. Put the Choice Belt onto the Dragapult, because again, that doesn't quite matter. Let's burn a couple of cards here. And use the Crobat, draw 4 cards. We'd love to see more energy. There is more energy. Go ahead and Underworld Door onto the Calyrex. Use the Fog Crystal. Underworld Door again onto Mewtwo this time. Have a nice split. And ideally here, again, they don't take a knockout on the Dragapult. That would be the nicest thing. They only have 3 cards in hand. I don't feel like playing a Marnie or the Research. And this might be just, you know what? I'm going to hold on to this hand. I'm going to go ahead and not boss's orders. I'm just going to take a knockout, potentially boss's orders next turn. We'll go ahead and max Phantom, take a knockout on the Lunatone. We'll put 1, 2, 3, 4, and you know what? We'll put 1 here. You never know. Cool, we'll take a prize. Ideally, again, if they don't take a knockout under Dragapult, we'd be in a very, very good position. They're going to need... What are they going to need? They're going to need the Lunatone, Scoop Up. Yeah, that's all they need. A Lunatone and a Scoop Up. They're down 3, though. The Pokestops maybe... Oh, not quite sure what they did there. I think they used the Pokestop. Let's see if they have the Rescue Carrier. They need the Rescue Carrier as well. The last Lunatone was prized. Luckily, Hisuian Heavy Ball does help them out. They're going to go ahead and use the Soul Rock to power up the Lunatone. They do have the Scoop Up Net, so that's really, really good for them because now they can go ahead and just, Scoop Up Net the Lunatone. Scoop up the Soul Rock, essentially healing it as well as getting an extra energy attachment on it, which is exactly what they need to take a knockout on the Dragapult here. So they are going to be pretty much ahead in prizes, right? They're going to take the first... They're going to take 3 right off the bat. It is a Dragapult. Something that is nice, though. This is their last Lunatone. They're going to have to find stuff like their... What do you call this? Their Rescue Carriers to get the Lunatone back. They do even have the Choice Belt. I don't like that they had to commit that. I don't think they necessarily needed to, because they have the other Lunatone. Oh, it's because they're going to go ahead, use the Rescue Carrier here to establish the next Lunatone, not having the need to find something like a switch, right? So essentially they're guaranteed, you know what, I have 120 damage next turn at least. And there it is, Moon Kinesis for the knockout onto my Dragapult. And the nice thing is I can still go into my Mewtwo. And if they don't take a knock on my Mewtwo, I can retreat that, go into my Shadow Rider, or potentially another Mewtwo. I can even Ordinary Rod here, we'll do both. Grab the Dragapult V's back. Could be really good. And 2 energies, not too bad. This scenario, I will Underworld Door once at least. Got the Air Balloon. Yeah, might as well while we have the energy. We don't really need that much. So I will Pumpkaboo here. Just get rid of the stadium. And Marnie. Again, ideally, I want to draw into the Dragapult. Try and re-establish that. We do grab it. However, we don't have energy to draw. That means I'm going to have to use the Training Court. I didn't want to have to drop that because that guarantees they also have access to their psychic energies, but would really like to establish the Dragapult here. All right, pretty good, pretty good. We'll go ahead and Psy Surge here. Luckily, we only have to discard 1 energy. Take a knockout and go down to 3. Again, yes, they can potentially... They can potentially take a knockout on the Mewtwo. It's going to take a lot. I don't think they have enough resources. They need a ton of Scoop Up Nets as well as the Choice Belts. Radiant Greninja just helping them out there, drawing 2 cards. They have access again to the Training Court. And again, something I want to do this turn is I want to force them to have they go for the Escape Rope. Okay. Okay. Interesting play here. Very, very interesting play. If I go into Crobat, they don't take a knockout. That would be the most ideal thing. I don't want them to put damage on the Shadow Rider because that makes it a boss target. I don't want them to take a knockout on the Pumpkaboo. So I will, if they go into Crobat, I'm going to risk it here. I could go into the Dragapult. Dragapult's a little bit harder to knock out. and I just don't have to evolve it then. But I was planning to attack with the Dragapult. I think we're okay. I think I'll go ahead. I will go to the Dragapult V. That's a little bit harder to knock out. I don't think they can reach that. 180 is something I think they can. We'll have to see how much they do. Because, yeah, they're going to accelerate 3 here. That's 120. Plus the attachment and the scoop up net. That is going to be 180. But we'll have to see what they do. Again, that's 120. They could attach to the Soul Rock. Yeah, okay. And they're just going to do 120 to my Dragapult. Which is fine. This is fine. So now I'm just going to go ahead and retreat back into the Mewtwo. And essentially try and clean out the game there. We're at a very crucial moment in the game where each knockout definitely matters. There's the Choice Belt. Moon Kinesis onto the Dragapult. 150 damage. Again, now they're forced to pretty much... They're forced to have a boss pretty much every turn to win this game now. Go ahead and Underworld Door a couple of times. All right, we'll retreat the Dragapult into the Mewtwo. And we'll go ahead and just Psy-Surge here. We'll get rid of the energy on the Dragapult, just because that is a boss target now. And take a knockout on the Lunatone. Again, we are just a big Pokemon Vs. And maybe, I think, we've run them out of resources. They have to get another rescue carrier or have the Lunatone in hand. They have to use another scoop up to get out of the active, potentially. There is a rescue carrier, so there's no shortage of Lunatones for sure. But again, they have to take a knockout here back to back. They need the boss's orders, and then they need the boss's orders again on the Pumpkaboo. Let's see if they have it. Because if they hit into the Mewtwo, that pretty much guarantees that we win the game here. There's the Pokestop. They discarded, I think, a Lunatone and a couple of things. One boss is in the discard pile. They attach to the active. They are going to be able to do 120 damage here. Okay. Drop another Lunatone. Do they have the boss? No, it's just going to be a Moon Kinesis onto the Mewtwo. And with that, that should be game here. Because as long as we pretty much set it up where we have a retreat at least, they can't... I don't think they can win the game, but we'll have to see. All right, we'll Underworld Door onto the Pumpkaboo just because that's a little bit big. Again, I want to make sure everyone has the capability to retreat. And yeah, we'll use this. Let's just check how many energies left in the deck. There's still 2. Grab one more. Attach this here. We'll just go ahead and Psy-Surge. Take 1 energy off the Mewtwo. And we go down to 1 prize. Yeah, and we pretty much established that everyone in our bench can retreat. The Pumpkaboo is a little scary because it has 2 retreat costs. That's why I specifically had to put 1 there. And now, especially since we did get the Air Balloon, that is pretty much good enough. Again, now they're going to have to at least... They'd have to try and one-shot something like the Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX in 1 hit. And so they need the boss and a lot of energies in play to take a knockout. I don't think that's something they can do. And sometimes this is the benefit of just having a lot of big Pokemon, right? Again, we were putting a lot of early pressure with the Dragapult V very early on. It was 320 HP, potential to take multiple prizes. They had to really use their scoop up nets to prevent that. And then we go into something like the Mewtwo. Even if they took a knockout on a VMAX, a knockout on Mewtwo doesn't win them the game. And that is good for me. Again, they go down to 2. If we were attacking with something like the Shadow Rider, for example, instead, they essentially could have won this turn. But preventing damage on our VMAXs was very, very big. And yeah, that's just the role Mewtwo plays. Absolutely great attacker, great friend for this deck. And good game to my opponent. with that, that was Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. Again, one of my favorite decks to play. Literally my pet deck for this entire format. Honestly, with the release of Lost Origins, I'm probably not even going to stop playing this. It's just so much fun. I think we got to showcase the power of Mewtwo VSTAR, the Dragapult VMAX, and especially the Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. And honestly, this is pretty easy to build online. There is the V-Battle decks that are available to everyone. If you're going to buy one, though, I highly recommend probably going with the Ice Rider instead. There's probably more value there. But again, Shadow Rider is where it's at. It's so much fun. And that's pretty much it. If you like what you saw, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified when new videos do come out. I'll see you all next time.
The Shuffle Squad is proudly sponsored by Atlas Collectibles, the best place to buy any trading card game product online. Visit atlastcg.com and at the checkout screen, make sure to use code TSS12 to save an unbeatable 12% off your entire order. Atlas Collectibles will ship your product anywhere in the world, so make sure you're taking advantage of the 12% savings with TSS12. If you're looking for PTCGO codes, they have them there as well at atlaspokemart.com. And the best part is, the TSS12 code works there as well. And if Pokemon is not your thing, don't worry. Go to atlastcg.com and see all the other amazing trading card game products they have there to offer.
This video is sponsored by PokeXWord.com, the best place to get your fill of Pokemon-inspired puzzles. New puzzles are posted every Sunday, and it's a great way to disconnect and have some fun. Not only that, but they also host monthly giveaways on their channel. I personally complete these puzzles every week and can honestly say that they're pretty challenging. They've recently added a puzzle with flavor text only, which is a ton of fun. Be sure to follow PokeXWord on Twitter to get notified when new puzzles are posted and when their giveaways are live.
Check out the Late Night Series Season 6, brought to you by myself, Zach Lesage, and the Shuffle Squad. We're going to be running a bunch of sick events for the Pokemon community, and they start on August 30th. So one thing you might be noticing here is that there's an EU time and an NA time. We have one at 12 p.m. Eastern, which works out to about 5 p.m. in London, and then we have one at 7 p.m. Eastern, which should help out a lot of players on the West Coast play in this event. That being said, we still have a lot of cool things going on. Expect similar prizing that we've had for other Late Night Series events. Expect better staffing, expect better tournament experiences, and of course we do have a stream going up for this season as well, and I will be streaming the event on Twitch. That being said, we have the whole season up on the Play Limitless website. Late Night 51 all the way through 70 runs until we hit the Invitational on November 5th. So check that out, sign up today, and support Zach Lesage Events and the Shuffle Squad. See you there.
The Shuffle Squad is an organization focused on bringing light to the Pokemon community. We love everything that there is to do with Pokemon, and we hope that you do too. Make sure you're liking, subscribing, following us, and commenting on this video to let us know what you'd like to see in the next video on the channel. Thank you so much for watching this video in its entirety, and we hope to see you next time.